Have you ever recorded a video and then you head home super excited about it, then you sit down to edit and the audio doesn't quite sound like you expected it? I know, it's super frustrating and I've been there too, actually many more times that I want to confess, but I've got 3 quick tips that will save your audio and your sanity. So let's jump into the computer. So first things first, we need to import our footage. In my case, I already have the clip loaded. This is a clip that I'm gonna make available for you if you wanna play with it, just so you can see, how these tips work. So the only thing that I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna boost the audio levels to 9 decibels, just so we can hear a little bit the reference of our clip, because these mics, the Rode mics, they tend to be really quiet. That's the only thing that I did. We're ready to start working. Let's take a look at the clip, just a part of it, so we can see what is our baseline. This is a test clip. The idea is just so you can have a raw audio, so I can show you the before and after, what happens after I give you all these tips and tricks. Okay, so that's that part, right? And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we need to work in here. So the first step is called vocal enhancer, okay? And that's what it does. It enhances our voice depending on who you are. Let's see, and I'll show you what I mean. So we go to audio effects, we go to special, and then we'll scroll down, and then you have it. Funny enough, if you go to audition, you have now the same thing under effects and under special. In previous versions, it was a little bit different, called voice booster, I think it was. But now, not After Effects, Audition and Premiere, they have the same name. It's consistent, so you can use it in either software. So vocal enhancer is kind of like a power up to your voice. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, it is going to help your voice. And let me show you. So we already put the filter. Now we go to edit. And as you can see, it has a few options. If it's music, if it's high tone, or if it's low tone. In my case, you can see I'm a baritone. And so I'm gonna choose low tone, or you can do it here in the graphic. And that's it. It already helped my voice. Let's play it really quick so you can see the difference. This is a test clip. The idea is just so you can have a raw audio, okay? And without the clip, this is a test clip. The idea is just so you can have a raw audio, so we're in the right track. You can see the difference immediately just by doing that. It's very subtle, but it feels a little bit more punchy. But here's the thing. So when we're recording our projects, especially for like YouTube or anything, we're not necessarily recording in the perfect environment, right? The perfect studio, sound treated, and all that kind of stuff. So usually in the kind of environments that we record, we're gonna have reverb. The second step is to use the reverb filter to kind of help, give contrast between the ambient noise that you have and your voice. The thing with this, and I'm going to tell you right away, is you have to be very careful because it is really, really easy to go overboard. And if you go overboard, it'll sound awful. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it because your audio will be just a mess, all right? So for the de-reverb, we go here to the noise reduction part of our filters, then we apply our de-reverb, start turning it on and off while you're using it, just so you can hear the difference, because as I said, you can go overboard really easily. And if you do it, it just sounds like you're stuck in a bathroom or like you're talking through a pipe. It is just really, really bad. Let me show you how I do it. And then we'll do an example of like a very exaggerated, very bad, way of doing it. Here you go. It opens the panel, and in the different options that you have in the settings, you can tell the filter what to focus on when processing it. You can go with the high frequencies, the low frequencies, the mid frequencies. Like you can actually change all that stuff, but to simplify, since we're doing this for YouTube, we're just gonna focus on all frequencies, as you can see here. And the default is 40%, but I usually do between 5 and 10%. It's just to give me a little bit, and that's it. That's all I want. So let's do 10% just for this example. Enter, and let's just hear the same part that we've been playing on and off. So this is with the D-reverb. This is a test clip. The idea is just so you can have a raw audio. Then, as I said, let's do the example of a terrible use. Let's put it 65. Nah, you know what? Let's do 75. All right? And let's hear it now. Here we go. This is a test clip. The idea is just so you can have a raw audio. Whoa. It's just so wrong, man. It's just wrong. So let's go back to the 10% as we were doing. And that's great. We already have our step 2 right on the can. Can you hear the difference already? Maybe, maybe not. It depends on where you're watching this video, because if you're watching it on like a TV or your cell phone or tablet on the using the speakers, maybe you don't notice that much of a difference. Maybe you think the levels just went down a little bit. I would suggest try to use it with the headphones, because the headphones are more precise and then you'll hear all the differences. It's really interesting because it's just like the background noise like kind of fades a little bit, and then your voice is more prominent. It's kind of like your voice just comes forward in that audio editing, and that's really cool. That's actually what we want. Let's move to the third step, and speaking of voice being the main character, voiceover, the last step is what's gonna give us that really robust sound, that power to our voice. The third step, it's actually here on amplitude, and that is the multi-band compressor. Like, don't be scared by the name, okay? Because this is a very useful tool. As it says, it is multi-band. It uses the different frequencies of the audio, and it's a compressor. It's just like bringing it all together, push it, boost it, like make it really powerful. If you're more advanced, you can separate, you know, the lower part of your register, the mids, you know, and then the highs. You know, just understand that in a basic way. But there's a preset here, and that's broadcast, that is gonna help us give, you know, the last touches to our voice. What I do as well, again, because these mics are pretty low, let's boost it like maybe around 6 decibels to give it a little bit more power. And let's play that part. This is a test clip. The idea is just so you can have a raw audio. You can hear it already. It just came alive. It is much better. The only thing that you need to take into account is, of course, monitor the result. So on this side where you see it says output gain, there's a sound monitor, right? That'll show you how loud or how soft it's the audio. Check it out. So I can show you the before and after what happened. So you can see my levels were in the green, were a little bit in the yellow, but not touching the red. Once you see the red, as everything in life, it is an alarm. It's like, yo, it's a little bit too loud, bring it down a notch. So yeah, just keep it very healthy. So as you can see, in 3 simple steps, you change how your audio behaves. Let's see one last time what the audio is without all the 3 filters and how it is again after we apply all the 3 filters. All right, here we go. So, no filter. This is a test clip. The idea is just so you can have a raw audio, and then we do with all the 3 filters. This is a test clip. The idea is just so you can have a raw audio, and just like that, you got all 3 steps working together. So that's it, guys. Now you've got a clean, punchy, professional sounding audio that you can use in your YouTube videos or whatever project that you're working on. I hope you find this helpful, and if you did, please click that like button, subscribe so you can support this channel, and if you have any questions, drop them down below in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.